Good morning, Abby. It's Sunday when I am recording this. This is going to be a different video than usual because I had some free time and I decided to dig up my old diary from third grade, and I am losing my actual mind. so, um, I'm going to embarrass myself for your enjoyment now. I hope that you get as much joy from it as I do. So I had this thing I would do where I over explained everything because I wrote in my diary as if it was like a book that was going to be read. And so I spend like half a page talking about the backstory of my friend whose family is from Korea, and then I just write, "Wow, I will explain things no more. You will have to figure things out on your own." And then it's immediately followed by a section that makes absolutely no sense. I think I'm trying to explain what my homework is, but you went too far the other way, young me. Okay, now I'm just gonna zip through this. Don't ask me why. We went down thinking we had Scratch, but we didn't. I did anyone else actually have a Scratch class at their school? Because we had like an entire class devoted to that at my school. We did a group activity where my partner was Zachary, censored last name, vice president of the Goon Squad. I have no idea on this earth what that refers to. Then me, Haben, that's my Korean friend, and Dave, censored last name, a cute boy in my class, no memory of this person, went to Mrs. Censored Teacher Name's room for reading group. I looked up 4 or 5 words in the dictionary. Then us kids got our snacks out. We had math. They're trying to press division on us when we're only in third grade. Sheesh. Does anyone else find this as funny as I do? We watched a video about space. Shut up, scientists. God made Earth, God made us, and not out of stardust material. And God set up a timeline. He decides when it's dark and when it's not. I went home to find my mother sick while I'm doing the kitchen. Context, in one of the previous pages, I referred to the fact that I had gotten a leading role in the third grade school play, which, if I remember, it was some like story about cats and dogs becoming friends and sharing or something. I was the cat, I think. I don't know. Offnon, I don't know how to say that name. Offnon, what's her last name, told Jacob what's his last name, that I'm Puppy, the third grade lead, and Jacob said that he was going to rip my head off because he wanted to be Puppy. After reading group, we had snack. At lunch, I told Haben about Jacob threatening to rip my head off, and then told Mrs. Censored Teacher last name when she came to tell me that the boy playing Kitten in the play, the second grade lead, was named Nathan Quairbox or something like that. I'm not gonna bother censoring that because I do not think that there is anyone on this planet named Nathan Quairbox. In case you were in suspense, wondering if Jacob What's his last name actually ripped my head off, at lunch recess, Jacob yelled in my face, "I'm gonna rip your head off," but me and Haben told him we would tell the teacher if he even tried that, so that shut him up. Haben told me this Harry Potter story called Weasley's in Love, and she was on Fred's story when we had to line up. I would love to hear Weasley's in Love. Then there's a section where I write down some Spanish words that I learned, and my translation for "I don't know" is not correct. "I don't know" would just be yo no sé or yo no lo sé, depending on the context. But I've written yo sé en ne, which I don't think that's a valid sentence. Okay, at the next entry, uh, me and my family have checked into like a hotel. It was not immediately apparent what the context was, but as I read on, I found out that it was a time when one of my cousins got married. I just want to highlight this section, and I'm gonna have to censor a bunch of names just in case. We passed time in the breakfast area, so the dining room of the hotel, maybe, while me and my cousins play to keep my younger cousins from running wildly throughout the hotel on a quest to find their mommy. We then went to get dressed on mom command. I am now calm enough to chew gum. Honestly, what a mood. And then there's a section where young me is reading Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. And there's like a free page section where I just copy down a chunk of text from the book. So this is straight up plagiarization. But the scene that I wrote down is the one where Harry Potter and Cho Chang are alone and they end up kissing while they're alone. This is Young Me's commentary. I hope you're ready for an excellent drawing. What happens after that is shown on the next page. Okay, I'm a bad drawer, but the point is that they're 15 years old. You have to be 16 before you can kiss. But guess what, diary? They just did. They just did. On the entry for Friday, that can't be it says Friday, December 10th, but that can't be correct because the previous entry was February. So I'm assuming I mean February 10th. Anyway, this entry, we get more of what I was expecting from this diary, which is me complaining about, which is me talking about my various social experiences in life, because I was a mess at the age of 9, and you're about to see how emotionally unstable I was. Dear Diary, the only reason I'm writing is because there were 2 problems today. One involving Cameron, girl. I had to specify because Cameron's a gender-neutral name. And one involving a mix of Cameron, Addison, and rumors. The first problem was that Cameron and Haben are becoming really close. Something you'll need to know, Cameron is my nemesis. No kidding. Every time I look over, Haben is talking to her. I'm okay with that, but in times when I can finally speak to her, she hogs her too. So at recess, when I could finally speak to her, it wasn't a surprise when Haben said, Cameron asked me to meet her by the swings. Wanna come? The only reason I said, I want to talk to you, let's go, was because it was true, and I was afraid Cameron was going to take her away from me now, too. So basically, young me goes to Cameron and is like, hey, can you let me hang out with Haben as well? And then Cameron and Haben go have a conversation, and then Haben comes back to me and is like, what if we all played together like normal people? And I told her I would think about it, and then, and now it's time for thinking. 4:24 p.m. I have made my decision. If Cam doesn't try to shove me up a ladder, I'll play with her. I vaguely remember disliking this person, but I have no idea why. Did she shove me up a ladder? Is that why I'm holding a grudge? What happened? Now it's time for the other problem. Cameron came up to me and said, Molly, you need to apologize to Addison for hitting her. I was bewildered. I was as innocent as a newborn baby, and my day ended with me wishing I was Dobby the house elf so I could hit myself. I feel like if I showed this to my therapist, she would be concerned. Saturday, February 18th, 2012. Dear Diary, the only reason I'm writing here is because I want to tell you how I narrowly got Jamie censored last name on Thursday in a game of color tag. The good old days. Perhaps I should explain the rules of color tag. You really don't need to, young me. You can stop. Here's my epic color tag win against this person named Jamie. You can go ahead, I'm not gonna get you anyway, I said truthfully. But then I had second thoughts. I win, said Jamie. No, you don't, I said. If I had been 5 seconds slow in tagging her, she would have won. But that just shows you how witty Montgomerys are. Oh my gosh. In this particular section, I decided to present the new, I decided to present the news that was in my life as a newspaper report, and it's called the Montgomery Prophet because I was into Harry Potter at the time. Harry Potter newspaper is called the Daily Prophet. The news of the day was that my brother had just gotten a job, and in the headline that I gave him was so rude. There is a beautiful illustration by me where I am trying to explain how Quidditch works. It's art, truly. There's a section where I'm giving updates on my life, but like at the end of every segment, I just say I. My theories are that either I was going through a pirate phase, or at this time, I believe my dad's ringtone to his phone was Crazy Train by Ozzy Osbourne. So I don't know. Anyway, the highlight from this is that apparently I got jealous because Cameron, my nemesis, remember, she gets to pass out papers in class a lot, and apparently that was making me jealous, and then Hayden gave me an ultimatum that I had a week to become friends with her. So I am thrilled to see where this story goes because I don't think it's gonna go well. I recorded a bit where me, Hayden, and Cameron all got taken to the guidance counselor's office to have a little sit down, and here is my record of what the other girls said in this conversation. Hayden admits that I am direct, admits that she is stuck in the middle, can't remember rest. Cameron says that I yell at her, says that Addison, Callie, and Emily H tell her she must play with them. Can't remember rest. I had a great memory as a child. Hi, I'm back. I had to take a break. I got interrupted. Several hours have passed, and I took a bath. But I'm back. Now we enter my favorite part of this diary, which is where I tried to write a play. Those of you who know me in real life will know that I actually did write a play last semester of college. So now we're gonna get a glimpse into third grade me's creative writing process, and I assure you it is not my writing process now. Once upon a time, by the way, once upon a time is written in cursive and nothing else is, I decided to open a play for my class called What If Harry Potter and Percy Jackson Were Friends? Percy Jackson is kind of like Harry Potter, except Percy is a half-blood, which is half of God and half human. On the next page is an idea web of the play. Scene 1. Percy Jackson does not like Harry Potter. Scene 2. Harry Potter does not like Percy Jackson. Scene 3. Harry and Percy become friends. Scene 4. Kronos and Voldemort meet. Scene 5. In order to save the world, Harry and Percy teamed up. No complaints. The pacing is perfect. The story structure is amazing. Sold. Put this on Broadway. Young me wrote about some drama where I had like an idea for who I wanted cast as everybody, but then other writers got involved and they changed the casting, and also apparently the person who was going to play Ron took a visit to China. June 3rd, 2012. Dear Diary, I forgot to write the biggest change of all. I'm moving to Wisconsin for the first time in my life. Also, we are really mad at our landlords. The play is canceled because nobody at school except teachers know that I exist. Tomorrow is the last day of school. I have a bump on my head that proves it doesn't pay to try to go back to old friends. I'm sorry, I have a what now? There is then an extended segment where I rank, I do like a popularity chart, and there's like a normal chart, or the normal chart is like what reality is. And then there's my chart, which is what I think should be the popularity chart. And of course, on my chart, I am the most popular person in the class because, of course. I think my child self was trying to say that I was starting to get interested in Pokemon, but I phrased it in a way that is very unfortunate. The 4th of July story, according to third grade me. Once upon a time, Britannia said, America, you belong to us. America said, no, we will fight a war before we join you. Not correct, they already joined them. On July 4th, America won the war. Also, literally not correct. Now we celebrate. End. It is really hot outside. Because of the risk that the grill will burn out because of Dad's sweat, we are not grilling till sunset. That had to have been like a joke my dad made, and then I just like took it 100% seriously. As you could tell from the seasonality, my last entry was on July 4th of 2012. Yes, July 4th of 2012. This most recent entry is now from January 19th, 2013. Dear Diary, I found out your lock didn't work, so for a long time I didn't write. But I don't care. I lost the key for this a very long time ago, but I was very easily able to just pry it open for the sake of this video. It's not very secure. Dear Diary, I'm trying to make myself tired. It's 11:45 p.m. Girl, are you okay? So for the first beginning section of this diary, I signed off my diary as your friend Molly. For this one, I just wrote Molly, but then afterwards I wrote P.S. I'm gonna start writing your friend again soon. Very soon. Okay. A couple of days ago, I went to the top of the Christmas tree of popularity. I usually eat at this spot against the wall, and on the painted mural wall painting was a Christmas tree. You know, standard Christmas tree. That is the Christmas tree of popularity. When you go up it once, you become cool. When you go up it 2 times, you become awesome. When you go up it 3 times, you become popular. I became cool on Friday. I was not a mentally stable child. In Wisconsin, one of my new compatriots is a girl named Emma. And so here is a list of things. I decided to make a list of things I know and things I think about Emma. So let's see if we can get a glean for Emma's personality. Emma is a farmer. Well, actually, she's a 9-year-old girl that I knew once. She herself is not a farmer. Her parents are farmers, is what I meant. But anyway. Emma lives near Ray. Emma lives near Mallory. Emma lives near the guidance counselor. Emma collects football cards just to impress the boys, or more specifically, Briar, who I also have a crush on. I remember Briar. I do not remember Dave, but I do remember Briar, and I remember that I was friends with Emma, and then she later went on to start dating Briar, you know, in the way that 10-year-olds do. And it was very complex for me because I liked Briar, but also I didn't also like Emma was my friend, and it was a whole thing. I have a feeling that my diary is going to get into that, and I am excited. So there's a thing that says Emma bounces people, but then it's crossed out, and under it, I believe it says Emma steals football. Emma went to Alaska one time and will go to the Bahamas next year, or New York. Emma will hide a person's pencil for fun. Emma sleeps for music class. Emma created part of the donut rule. And then there's an asterisk, but there's never anything else that like explains what the asterisk is. What's the donut rule? I want to know. And things that I think about Emma. Emma is crazy, and Emma steals football cards from her brother Troy. So Did you glean anything from that? And then there is on Wednesday, January 30th, I did an extended entry where I summarized some Monster High movies I watched. I don't even like give a review of them. I just kind of like summarize the plot, and that is the last entry. That's it. That's it. I never did that. I never. That's it. So what did I learn about myself today? I learned that the social anxiety did not come out of nowhere. That's what I learned today. If you are anyone who went to school with me in third or fourth grade and is watching this, I am so sorry. More than likely, you're a fine person. Don't worry about whatever mean thing I wrote about you. You're fine. And, Abby, I'll see you tomorrow, I guess.